This is some breed information for Labsky dog breed. I'll go through all the main things that you would need to know about this dog if you're considering getting it. So Labsky, known as many other names, a Labrador Retriever and a Husky, Siberian Husky. It's a fairly new breed, to be honest. It's the past 20, 30 years. So in the past decades, a couple of decades, it's slowly been mixed in different parts of the world. So you'd have had loads of different countries that probably got to this breed without realizing what it was, but a mixture of Labrador Retriever and a Siberian Husky. It's a nice mix of two working dogs. They're going to be very energetic dogs because both of them are working type dogs. They want lots of mental stimulation. Labsky being a full-time commitment, and obviously that's something that people use in the snow for kind of getting sleighs around. Let's just check that. And yes, so keen workers, enjoy learning. They're going to be clever breeds. So if that's something you're interested in, then that's the right dog for you. We regularly get our dog carrying extra weight. It's a good animal to consider. We were thinking about a German Shepherd first, but that can be very territorial and a bit more high intensity in terms of its protection capabilities. But we wanted a family dog that we didn't have to worry about being too overly protective with other dogs coming in or other people approaching. So right now the Labrador is the friendliest dog on earth, isn't it? And the Husky's a nice non-protective type dog, but together that mix gives us that breed traits that we were looking for. And when we saw this Max as a puppy, he was a really small puppy, well, not really small, but he's a good size for his age. We got him at 4 months, and it's a hybrid of two breeds known as many names: Siberian Retriever, Husky Lab, Huskador. But there is another breed out there called Labrador Husky, which is a different breed. That's like early 1300s in Canada, I think. So that's slightly different to this mix of a Labrador and Husky that we have. When it comes to the picking out a puppy, you'll see in a litter of puppies, they'll all look slightly different. None of them will be exactly the same. Either they'll go on the Husky side or they'll go on the Lab side. And some have perky ears, some won't have perky ears. One will be more towards the Husky side of appearance, whereas the Lab would be more Lab appearance wise. And generally they're a gorgeous breed. They tend to have beautiful markings and distinctive looks because they're hybrids of two different dogs. It's called a fancy breed, so like a more of a recent thing, trendy thing, where people are mixing different dogs to get contemporary newer dog breeds. The medium-sized dogs, I'll say medium because I'm thinking along the lines of Great Dane being a large dog, but he is quite a big dog for many people that are used to having Jack Russells or Border Collies, kind of slightly bigger than Border Collie actually. He's 28 kgs at the moment. So they come in a varying different types of colours in their eyes and coats depending on their heritage. They're double coat generally, so from Husky side of the family, and they can weigh anything between 18 to 27 kgs. What you want to keep on top of is their character and temperament. For a family dog, that's something you want to definitely keep an eye on. So what I'd suggest is looking at both the parents, because there's not much information out there about Labsky dogs. They're not even recognized as an actual breed on their own right at the moment. So you want to look at the Husky side of the family and the Labrador side of the family to see what the traits are likely to be like for the offspring. So they're loving, affectionate. They're definitely going to be wanting to get into every nook and cranny of the house and get involved in all the activity going on. This can be a boisterous breed and requires a lot of attention. You want to be sure that they are clever dogs, especially with the Husky side in there. So they may act differently around different members of the family. If you're firm with the dog, he'll be very obedient and kind of please you. Whereas if someone's not as on top of their game, he'll easily take advantage of you. So you want to be careful to have the same kind of approach to training and the activity, because you always have that one person in the family that likes to play more, and the dog will obviously notice that and act differently around them. The dogs that want to be with you everywhere you go, so they can suffer from separation anxiety. We have put up a separate video when we got Max just in the garage just to see how he reacts to being left alone for, I think it was 6 minutes or something, so you can see roughly what separation anxiety can look like. And yeah, so that's something to keep an eye on. Typically they're tolerant of children. If they're growing up with your family, they will be fine, because they are boisterous breed. They might inadvertently knock someone over, but it's not malicious or not in a bad sense. It's more than playing about more roughly. They can play, they make wonderful playmates, so young people around the house will be kept in check and given regular activity. The hunting instincts do come into play. If they see a cat or a rabbit or some other thing, then you're going to see them perk their ears up and want to have that prey drive. So if you have other animals or dogs in the house at a young age, get them adapted together so they can live together. They can do if they're done in that way, as in you see he's growing up with a cat, then he'll be fine. Because obviously some cats are more stronger than dogs. So let's have a look. So born to work, trainability. They're going to be along the lines of your very happy-go-lucky nature. So Labsky's makes the highly trainable breed. They're intelligent, they learn quickly. We've been able to get him off leash. As long as there's no cats or dogs, and he's okay. If they are, we've taken him to dog parks, and he's kind of a bit more, he wants to go and say hello to everybody, but you need to train to him that he has to wait when he's called, and you can introduce him nicely. Personalities from the Labrador side of the family and Siberian side of the family, so you'll have a rough idea of how they're going to act. Health wise, there can be a few things to keep an eye on, things like hip dysplasia, allergies, obesity being a main one, because obviously the Labrador side of them likes to eat more, and you want to make sure the portions and things are checked. Hypothyroidism is something to keep an eye on, but that's more vet specific, so things like dry skin, skin infections, seeking heat behavior, so those kind of things are later in the breed's life cycle. As they're getting older, exercise and activity levels, they're going to love exercise, so they're going to always want to exercise. They're going to be on top of it on walks, hikes. They're going to be proper, you'll get tired before they get tired. And grooming wise, that's another area to keep an eye on. The double coats, you want to keep on top of their grooming, but if it's a breed that you're looking at, then you'll understand that that comes with the territory, keeping an eye on their nails and their coat and teeth and everything. So that is your breed information overview. If you're thinking about a Labsky dog, then this is the dog for you and you would enjoy it.